The edge you are looking for does not exist, not the way you think it does. And I can tell you right now, that single sentence is going to bother you. It is going to sit in the back of your mind while you listen to this, and you are going to resist it with everything you have, because you have spent months, maybe years, searching for this thing, this mental edge, this secret shift that separates the traders who make it from the ones who blow up. You have read the books, you have watched the videos, you have studied the charts, and somewhere deep inside you, there is this belief, this absolute conviction that there is something you are missing. Some piece of the puzzle you have not found yet. Some revelation that is going to change everything the moment you hear it. I have worked with thousands of traders, and I can tell you this with absolute certainty. That belief that something is missing is the very thing that is holding you back. Let me say that again, because I need you to hear it. The search itself is the problem, not the answer. The search. Let me explain why. When you believe there is a secret out there that you have not found, you are telling yourself a very specific story. You are telling yourself that the reason you are not consistently profitable is because you do not know enough yet. You have not learned the right indicator, you have not found the right strategy, you have not unlocked the right mindset trick. And so what do? You keep searching, you keep consuming, you keep looking for that next video, that next book, that next course that is going to finally give you the thing you need. And while you are doing all of that searching, you are doing something far more dangerous. You are avoiding the one thing that would actually change your trading. You are avoiding execution. You are avoiding the simple, boring, uncomfortable act of following a plan that you already have. Now, I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, but I do not have a plan that works yet. And I would bet money, real money, that you do. I would bet that somewhere in your trading history, you have had stretches where things worked, where you followed a set of rules and the results came, but then something happened. You got bored, or you got scared, or you had a losing streak and you panicked and changed everything. And then you went right back to searching. This is not a knowledge problem. This is a behavior problem disguised as a knowledge problem. And that distinction changes everything. Here is the lie you have been told, either by the market, by other traders, or by your own mind. The lie is that trading mastery is about finding the right information. That if you just study enough, analyze enough, learn enough, you will eventually crack the code. But the truth, the real uncomfortable truth, is that you already have 90% of what you need. The mental edge you are looking for is not a piece of information. It is a state of mind. And that state of mind can be described in one sentence: genuine acceptance that you do not know what is going to happen on the next trade. That is it. That is the edge. That is what professional traders have that you do not. Not better charts, not better indicators, not some secret strategy they are hiding from retail traders. They have acceptance. Real, deep, operational acceptance that any single trade can lose, and that this fact does not threaten them in any way. Now, you are going to hear that and think it sounds too simple. You are going to think, I already know that. I know I cannot predict the market. But here is the difference between knowing something and accepting it. Knowing is intellectual. Acceptance is behavioral. You know that any trade can lose. But when you are in a trade and the market moves against you, what do? You move your stop. You add to a loser. You stare at the screen hoping it will come back. You feel a knot in your stomach. You feel angry or anxious or desperate. Those feelings are proof, undeniable proof, that you have not accepted uncertainty. You have only memorized the concept. There is a canyon between those two things, and most traders never cross it. Let me explain what genuine acceptance looks like in practice, because this is where most people get lost. They understand the idea, but they do not know how to live it. Genuine acceptance starts before the trade, not during, not after, before. It starts with a practice I call pre-trade risk acknowledgement, and it is the single most powerful habit I have ever seen a trader adopt. This is non-negotiable. Before you enter any trade, you stop. You look at your stop loss, you calculate the exact dollar amount you will lose if this trade goes against you, And then you say to yourself out loud, if you need to, I am willing to lose this amount. I accept this loss in advance. If this trade loses, I followed my process and the outcome is irrelevant. You say it. You feel it. And only then do you click the button. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking that sounds ridiculous, that it sounds like some kind of affirmation nonsense. But let me tell you what is actually happening when you do this. You are training your brain to separate the decision from the outcome. You are pre-processing the loss before it happens, which means when it does happen, and it will happen, because losses are a permanent part of this business, your nervous system does not react as if it is under attack. Your amygdala does not fire. Your prefrontal cortex stays engaged. You remain rational. And rational traders make money over time. Emotional traders do not. Let me give you an example. You are looking at a setup. It meets all your criteria. Your stop loss is 15 pips away. At your position size, that is a $40 loss. Before you enter, you pause. You say, I accept a $40 loss on this trade. This is the cost of finding out if my edge is present in this particular instance. You click enter, the trade moves against you. It hits your stop. You lose $40. And here is what does not happen. You do not feel angry. You do not feel cheated. You do not immediately start looking for a revenge trade. You feel neutral, maybe even calm, because you already processed this loss before it occurred. It is not a surprise. It is not a threat. It is a business expense you already agreed to pay. That is acceptance. That is the edge. It is not exciting. It is not glamorous. It is not going to make you feel like you unlocked some secret code. And that is exactly why most traders will never adopt it, because it does not feel like enough. It does not feel like the big revelation they were hoping for. But there is something deeper going on here that I need you to understand, because this is where the real transformation happens. The reason you resist simplicity is because your ego needs trading to be complex. Your ego needs the struggle. Your ego needs to believe that the reason you are not succeeding is because you have not figured it out yet, because the alternative is terrifying. The alternative is that you have already figured it out and you are simply not doing it. That means the problem is not your knowledge. It is you. It is your behavior. It is your inability to do the boring thing over and over and over again without deviating. And that is a much harder problem to face than I need to learn more. So let me give you the second practice that makes this real. After you have accepted your risk before the trade, you need a post-trade reflection that reinforces the right identity. I call this the process scorecard, and it works like this. After every single trade, win or lose, you answer 3 questions. Just 3. Did I follow my entry rules? Did I manage the trade according to my plan? Did I accept my risk before entering? That is it. 3 yes or no questions. And here is the key. Your score for the day is based on how many yeses you get, not on how much money you made, not on whether your trades won or lost, on whether you followed your process. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, but the money is what matters. And on the surface, yes, over time, the money matters. But here is what I have learned from working with traders for decades. If you focus on the money, you will never consistently follow the process that produces the money, because the money creates emotional noise. It makes you deviate. It makes you take profits too early on a winner because you are afraid of giving it back. It makes you hold a loser too long because you cannot accept the hit to your account. The money, the very thing you are chasing, becomes the obstacle to getting more of it. But if you focus on the process, the money takes care of itself. Not on any single trade, not on any single day. But over a sample of trades, the edge expresses itself and the equity curve goes up. This is probability thinking. And probability thinking is what separates amateurs from professionals. Most traders judge themselves on every individual trade. They win, they feel good, they lose, they feel bad. Their entire emotional state is hijacked by something they cannot control, the outcome of a single trade. Professional traders do not think this way. They think in samples. They know that their edge plays out over 20, 50, 100 trades. any single trade is meaningless. It is one flip of a weighted coin, and you do not get emotional about a coin flip. Let me be very specific about how you build this way of thinking, because it does not happen by accident. It happens through a practice I call the 20 trade commitment. Here is how it works. You take your trading plan, the one you already have, the one that already works when you follow it, and you commit to executing it flawlessly for 20 trades. Not 20 winning trades, not 20 perfect setups, 20 trades where you follow every rule without deviation, you track your process scorecard after each one, and you do not change anything, not your strategy, not your indicators, not your position size until all 20 trades are complete. This is non-negotiable. The reason this works is because it shifts your relationship with individual outcomes. When you know you are in the middle of a 20-trade sample, a single loss does not feel like a crisis. It feels like trade number 7 of 20. It has no more significance than that. And when you stop giving individual losses significance, you stop reacting to them. And when you stop reacting to them, you stop making the behavioral mistakes that are actually costing you money. You do not know what will happen on the next trade. Say that to yourself right now. I do not know what will happen on the next trade. Feel the discomfort of that statement. Feel how your mind wants to argue with it. Feel how something inside you says, but if I have a good setup, I should be able to predict. No, you cannot. Not on any single trade. You can predict what happens over 100 trades if you follow your process. But on this one trade, right now, you do not know. And that is okay. That is not a weakness. That is the truth. And the traders who accept this truth really accept it in their bones, in their nervous system, in their behavior. Those are the traders who make money year after year after year. Now, let me bring this all together, because I want you to leave here with absolute clarity on what you need to do. You do not need another strategy. You do not need another indicator. You do not need another video about the secret to trading success. What you need is to stop searching and start executing. You need to take the plan you already have and commit to following it with mechanical precision for a defined sample of trades. Before every trade, you accept your risk. Out loud, in specific dollar terms, you pre-process the loss so that your nervous system does not hijack your decision-making when the trade goes against you. After every trade, you score yourself on process, not on profit. 3 questions, 3 yeses. That is a perfect trade, regardless of whether it made money. You commit to 20 trades of flawless execution before you change anything. You think in samples, not in individual outcomes. You stop giving single trades the power to define your emotional state. And you repeat this day after day, week after week, until it becomes automatic. Until following your process feels as natural as breathing. Until a losing trade generates no more emotional response than a red traffic light. You stop, you wait, you move on. This is the mental edge. This is what you have been searching for. And I know it does not look like what you expected. I know you wanted something more dramatic, more exciting, more complex. But that desire, that need for complexity and excitement is the very thing that has been keeping you from it. The edge is simple. The edge is boring. The edge is doing the same thing the right way over and over again when every part of your brain is screaming at you to do something different. 6 months from now, if you commit to this, something will have changed inside you. Not your strategy, not your indicators, not your screen setup. You, the way you think about trades, the way you respond to losses, the way you define success. You will sit down at your desk and you will feel something that most traders never feel. Calm, not excitement, not anxiety, not hope, calm. Because you will know, not believe, not hope, but know that if you follow your process over the next 20, 50, 100 trades, the results will take care of themselves. And that knowledge, that bone-deep certainty in your process, is the edge you have been looking for.